Welcome to this Franklin Public Schools screencast all about standards-based grading, and this is for parents and students so you can see how to look at standards-based grading details in Powerschool. All assignments fall into one of two categories in standards-based grading. They are either formatives or summatives. So let's talk about those differences. A formative assessment for students provides an opportunity to increase a student's skill level in a certain area before the summative takes place. This is also seen as a progress report of the student's learning and helps to build towards the summative. And this occurs during the learning process, so formatives are not calculated into the final grade. Summative assessments are a chance for a student to prove their knowledge in a certain skill area after working on that skill. Think of this as the summary of the learning that has taken place towards certain standards. And this is a final rating of what the student has learned. And summatives are calculated in the final grade. When the standards that the students are working on are assessed, they fall on a 0 to 4 rating scale. And these are based on the rubrics that are created around those assessments. It should be noted that a 3 is the grade level or course expectation. And if you earn a 4, that advanced criteria is based on whatever the criteria is for that particular assessment on the rubric. For grades K through 6, it should be noted that only summatives will be posted in Power Teacher, and this may change in the future as teachers at the K6 grade level better align their formatives across the grade levels. The final grades that do show for students in K6 will show on a 0 to 4 rating scale, so you will see that reflected as part of the students' final grades. At grades 7 and 8, both formatives and summatives will be posted, and this will help to show progress for students along the way as they do their formatives, but they will not be counted in the final grade. Only the summatives will be counted in that final grade. Those 0 to 4 ratings will convert to the A, B, C, D, F grade scale for reporting purposes, and this is part of our current district policy that we report out grades at the middle school and high school levels on the A, B, C, D, F grade scale. At all grade levels, teachers may continue to add comments for assignments, but this might look a little different now that we're doing standards-based grading in Powerschool. In order to see comments, you want to look for a hyperlinked dash to click on. So let me show you exactly what that means. So here we are looking at some details for some assessments, and as you can see, one of these assessments over on the far right has a hyperlinked dash. Hyperlinked meaning that this is clickable. So if a parent or a student clicks on that, you'll be able to see a comment that was left by a teacher. Teachers will be putting comments in if they have issued a retake or allowed for a retake of a certain assessment, and that comment might explain how the student did on the retake. Now that we've talked about some details that affect all grade levels, let's take a look specifically at an elementary grade book K through 6. Here I am looking at a 6th grade student's Powerschool. We're currently on the grades and attendance tab, so you can see all the different courses or content areas that the student is currently taking. All of the final grades are listed here under T1. Remember that it's starting in 2014. All of the elementary K6 grades are using trimesters as their reporting terms, so there are 3 reporting terms in the year. If I take a look specifically at this student's math grade, the current final grade is a 2.5. So let's go ahead and click on that 2.5 and we'll go in and see some more details about that particular course. So here we are looking at the student's details for this class. Let's take a look at a specific assignment here. Here is a Chapter 2 summative. This was an assessment. And it looks like this assessment covered 3 different standards. So you can see here all the standards that were assessed on that assessment. You can see here this is also hyperlinked over on the side so that there are some comments associated with that. So if we were to click on that, there would be some comments left there by the teacher. If you want to see a breakdown of all standards together for all content areas or all classes, you can click on this standards grades. So I'm going to go ahead and click on standards grades. And this is the standards grades page. So you can see here's all of the math standards that have been assessed thus far. Here's all the Phi-Ed standards, all of the reading strategies, the science, social studies, and word usage. So, and this shows for trimester 1 for every standard where the student is currently at. Now let's take a look at the middle school and look at some examples of the gradebook as a middle school student or parent. Here I am in a middle school student's Powerschool. A few differences to note between middle school, which is grades 7, 8, and the K6. One difference is that the middle school reports out in quarters for their reporting terms. And another difference is that all of those 0 to 4 ratings that I mentioned earlier, all of those convert back in the final grade to the letter grade, to the A, B, C, D, F grade scale. So you will see The final grades reported here on the letter grade system. And if you click on those letter grades, that'll take you through to the course where you can see more information. If you notice that a course does not yet have any letter grade associated as part of the final grade, but there's just dashes there, those dashes are clickable. You can click through to those dashes to see more information about the course. This might also mean that in that particular course, they've only issued formatives up until this point, and as I mentioned earlier, formatives do not include in the final grade, so that's why there is no final grade being posted here yet. So the dashes or the letter grades are clickable to go through and see more details. Let's go ahead and click on one of these and take a look at the student's science class. In the student science class, you can see that some different assessments or assignments have been listed here. You can see the category, so this says if they're formatives or summatives. So here it looks like there were some formatives that were put into the gradebook just to show practice or build up to the summative, so it can show hopefully growth for the student. Here under summative then, these two standards that were assessed are the only ones that are factoring into that final grade as of right now. And just like at the elementary level, if you want to see a breakdown of every class all in one place by standard, you can click on this Standards Grades tab at the top. This is new this year. And when you click on that, you can see a breakdown of every class and currently what standards have been assessed and currently where that student resides in relation to those standards. Hopefully this video gave you a good overview of what to look for in relation to standards-based grading in Powerschool when you go in as a parent or a student. Thanks so much for watching, and also thanks for patience and understanding this year as we implement standards-based grading. And if you have questions at any time, please follow up with your teacher or your building principal. Thanks.